Loan watch, ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be focusing on three Manchester United players that have gone out on loan. We'll be seeing how they are faring and if Manchester United has always been the problem. So let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Football with Priscilla. I am Priscilla, obviously. So hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And ladies and gentlemen, today I just want us to focus on the three players that have gone out on loan from Manchester United. These being Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, and Anthony, and how they are faring in their teams. But before we get into the video for today, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and do turn your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, to know when next I post a video. Now, it is no secret that Manchester United is going downhill. Yes, we are crumbling. Yes, we are failing. But listen, that does not mean that we cannot look outside of the Manchester United sphere and see how the players that we sent out on loan are faring. So these players, we have Jadon Sancho to Chelsea, we have Marcus Rashford to Aston Villa, and we have Anthony to Real Betis. Out of all these three, the Rashford to Aston Villa hurt me. Okay, I will say this. It actually hurt me. Rashford has come from our academy. I have always liked Rashford. Yes, I have criticized him, but did I want him to go? No. Did I think he was gonna go? No. Do I feel like he's a traitor? Maybe. But anyway, let's talk about these three players. We're gonna start with Marcus Rashford, obviously, who I was actually broken when he left. But hey, we all need new environments sometimes. So Marcus Rashford, ladies and gentlemen, went to Aston Villa, and at Aston Villa, he has 8 goals, 42 assists, and 8 appearances, 57 shots, and 22 shots on target. The traitor. I'm joking. So that's how Marcus Rashford is faring at Aston Villa. 8 goals, okay? 42 assists. I don't know how I honestly don't know how accurate this is because I got it from the internet. So take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah. 8 appearances, 57 shots, and 22 shots on target. Rashford, where was all this when you were at Manchester United? Why didn't you do this at Manchester United? I'm joking. So obviously Aston Villa are enjoying Marcus Rashford. I don't know, do you guys think that Rashford is going to come back to Manchester United? I don't think so. I mean, Aston Villa is faring quite well, though I don't think they will be making into the Champions League this season because they are below 4th. But I think they can make it into the Europa League. Rashford left Manchester United when we were in the trenches and went to Aston Villa, who obviously in the Champions League. I don't know if they've been knocked out. I'm not sure. I need to check. But yeah. So apparently, I've been going through Twitter, seeing what Aston Villa fans have been saying, and they're absolutely happy about Marcus Rashford. The media is talking about this new Rashford that has... What is behind me? The media talking about this new resurged Marcus Rashford as if Manchester United was the problem. Maybe we were. Anyway, we have Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen, who went to Chelsea. Who, by the way, Chelsea fans made a big deal about. Oh my God, we're getting Jadon Sancho. We're stealing him from Manchester United. And his first cameo game, everyone was like, oh, so Manchester United was a problem. Well, let's listen to Jadon Sancho's stats, shall we? So, Jadon Sancho, first of all, this is a tweet by Statman Dave, who I use when I want to see tactics and footballing tactics. I go to Statman Dave's YouTube channel because it's actually good. This is a tweet he made. He said, take this with a pinch of salt. I haven't verified this, but this is what he said. He said, Jadon Sancho has not completed a cross or had a shot on target in 2025. That's what Statman Dave said. When I googled it, Jadon Sancho has had 2 goals and 4 assists in 20 appearances. 2 goals and 4 assists. Safe to say, things are not going so well for Jadon. Okay? For those people who came at us, Chelsea fans, who were like, oh my gosh, an absolute steal. Oh my gosh, Eric Ten Hag was a problem. Oh my God, look at Jadon Sancho. All he needed was a new change of environment. Eric Ten Hag had no idea what he's doing. Well, here we are. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's focus on Anthony. Anthony is with Real Betis. He has 2 goals with Real Betis, and he has 2 assists in 5 appearances. Okay? He has 5 appearances, 2 goals, and 2 assists. Apparently, I'm hearing Anthony is tearing up La Liga. He's talking about how he enjoys being at Real Betis, how he enjoys it's a different environment, it's better than Manchester United. So clearly, we can see that Manchester United is toxic, or is it? Now, first of all, I just want to say I'm happy that Marcus Rashford is having this resurgence. Whether Marcus Rashford will choose to stay with Aston Villa or come back to Manchester United is obviously up to him. I don't know though if him changing the environment from Manchester United to Aston Villa is what has helped him resurge, or there was just something behind the scenes with Eric Ten Hag that we didn't know. Now, obviously, there was news that came out that Amarim and Marcus Rashford were not getting along fine, and he needed Marcus Rashford to give his all, but Marcus Rashford was not giving his energy and whatnot. So, it was no secret that Amorim dropped him until Rashford went to Aston Villa. So I don't know if it was an Amorim problem or it was a Marcus problem, and that him going to work under Unai Emery with Aston Villa was a better suited for him. I don't know, but it clearly looks like Rashford is enjoying himself at Aston Villa. Whether this will continue, I don't know. I'm not sure. I hope it does, but I don't know. But anyway, then we have Jadon Sancho, ladies and gentlemen, who obviously had a fallout with Eric Ten Hag, who was benching him because of his attitude. He came out and did a whole post on Twitter, and people were not happy. I was one of the people who was like, you know what, Sancho, that's very childish. We're not supposed to do that. Apologize. Sancho told Eric Ten Hag, peace. I ain't saying sorry. Apologies, my dogs are barking. Anyway, so I think it's safe to say from the stats that I read out, 2 goals and 4 assists in 20 appearances, we can all agree that Jadon Sancho's move to Chelsea hasn't been as effective as he thought it would be. Obviously, Jadon Sancho went to Borussia Dortmund, where he started off well. He started off his season, but Borussia Dortmund brought him back to Manchester United and did not buy him again. So that says something. Then we have him going to Chelsea. When he started, Chelsea fans were busy making noise in our ears. His little cameo, they were like, oh, Manchester United is the problem. I went through Chelsea fan Twitter, and it looks like some certain fans are not convinced with Jadon Sancho, and they actually want to bring him back to us. So in this instance, are we going to say Eric Ten Hag was wrong, or Manchester United was wrong with Jadon Sancho, or is Jadon Sancho just maybe somewhat a problem? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Marcus Rashford posted on Instagram a picture of him in Aston Villa gear. And then I don't know what Jadon Sancho commented. I don't know if something in the lines of freedom. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But he said freedom. And it kind of somewhat upsets a lot of Manchester United fans. So Jadon Sancho, do not burn the bridges. My guy, we are still paying you. Okay? So for Jadon Sancho, things are not looking well at Chelsea. It looks like Chelsea will not buy him next season. So Manchester United are stuck with Jadon Sancho. And then we have Anthony, who, like I said, has talked about how he's enjoying his time at Real Betis. And people are talking about how he's a different looking player at the La Liga. I just would like to say this. La Liga and the Premier League are very two different leagues. The Premier League is a highly physical league, okay? It's very physical. La Liga is more of ball possession based football. It's like a thinking type of football. It's like a chess type vibe, La Liga. Like, where am I going to play? Who's going to play the next game? Like, it's not too as physical as the Premier League. The Premier League, you need to think fast, because if you're thinking slow, by the time you realize it, a defender has already bumped into you, you're on the ground, and they've gotten the ball back, and the game has progressed. So to say that he's actually doing better than he was doing at Manchester United can somewhat be true. But let's not forget that the leagues are two different things. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this now takes me to my next question. Is the problem Manchester United as a club, or is it that we have been scouting the wrong players? Like, are the players the right players, or we are the problem scouting the wrong players? Now, listen, here are my thoughts. With regards to Marcus Rashford, like I said, I'm happy that he's resurging himself. Jadon Sancho, problem. Anthony, I'm happy. I think we both it's a 50-50 thing. I think both the players and both the club as Manchester United have contributed in this big problem. I think with Marcus Rashford had a fallout with Amorim To be honest, we've never heard any bad stories about Rashford, like attitude problem. No, we had the Pogba, we had Jesse Lingard, but we never really heard about Marcus Rashford. He was supposed to be the academy player. He's supposed to be the Manchester United in and whatever kind of player. Like he's Manchester United, born and bred Manchester United, like loyal player Manchester United. So to hear that he had attitude problems, I wouldn't be surprised. I think when an environment for a long period of time is toxic, it starts affecting even the people in it, right? So I think Manchester United as a club maybe at a certain point became toxic. And that is not to say that Marcus Rashford is not at fault if he had any attitude giving Ruben Amorim. I think he had also a problem and he should also take accountability on his attitude problem. But I also think Manchester United as a whole became toxic, and it was very unfair for Marcus Rashford to become lackluster towards Amorim, who was new, who wasn't part of the problem. He's new. He's coming from a good club. He's coming to Manchester United. He's finding all this toxicity. So Rashford's attitude to Amorim, for me, I think was just uncalled for. I also don't blame Rashford 100% because I just think Manchester United at a certain point and for a long period of time has become very toxic. We don't know our identity anymore. We don't know what we want to do. So with regards to Marcus Rashford, Manchester United, I think it's 50-50. Jadon Sancho, I just think Jadon Sancho has this kind of attitude. Listen, I don't know the guy, and let me make this clear. Separate the art from the artist, okay? I do not know Jadon Sancho on a personal level. Obviously, there is no way that I can know Jadon Sancho on a personal level. I'm in Africa, Zambia to be specific. Jadon Sancho is in England, there, London, I don't know, Manchester to be specific. There is no way, ladies and gentlemen, I can dig up anything to know about his personality. No. I only know what I have seen from camera, okay? And so when I'm talking about attitude, I'm not talking about Jadon Sancho, the person. I'm talking about Jadon Sancho, the player, the brand. Let's make that clear. So with me, I just think Jadon Sancho, the player, has an attitude problem. I mean, we were told in the beginning that there were some issues with Borussia Dortmund, but they were not so much highlighted because he was performing. He comes at Manchester United, which is a whole different club, where the spotlight is magnified and things are not going well. His attitude is all of a sudden magnified because, like, we're trying to fix this and your little attitude is not helping. So I think for Jadon Sancho, I'm not gonna blame Eric Ten Hag as much. I think I'm just this one. I think Jadon Sancho may take maybe 70 accountability, and Eric Ten Hag 30. I think it's a 30-70 issue. I think his attitude speaks for himself for itself with regards to how he handled the whole issue. If it's a person who doesn't have attitude, they would have just apologized. There's so many instances in our lives, ladies and gentlemen, where we've apologized for things we have never even done. So with regards to that, I think this was 70-30. And then Anthony, if you've gone to all my previous videos, I always used to say like Anthony will come good. I hoped. I was one of the few people that hoped that Anthony would make it in the Premier League because I just believed in Anthony, and I still do. I still believe there's a player in there somewhere, and I just hope one day we can see it. But I fear we'll not see it for Manchester United, but for someone else, another team. Sorry, but yeah. So for Anthony, I think it just didn't work out with Manchester United. There was a lot of negativity with him, and for him, obviously, it didn't start well because there was that whole baby mama scandal, like a lot of things, but like it didn't start well. And him on the pitch, he was failing to adapt with the league. He was failing to adapt with the physicality and the pace of the Premier League, which most football players fail to do. I think Rasmus is also struggling, Xerxes are also struggling, but with time I think they will get there. But yeah, with regards to Anthony, I don't really blame him. I think things happen, football happens, and I think for him it was a matter of adapting, and he couldn't adapt quickly. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, would you guys want us to get back Marcus Rashford, Sancho, and Anthony back at Old Trafford, back playing for Manchester United? I would want to have Rashi back. I still believe he's a good player. I still believe there's a good player in there. I still have hope in Anthony. Call me crazy. I still have hope in Anthony. I would want to see Anthony back. And then we have Jadon Sancho, who I've just given up on. I'm sorry. I can't lie. Jadon, it's over. Like, I had hope in you and you betrayed my trust. Like, I'm sorry. I just know Jadon Sancho, we can sell him somewhere else, but I know I just don't see him at Manchester United. But it's gonna be a very interesting summer, seeing what Rashford will decide if he'll stay with Aston Villa or he'll try to reduce his salary wage for Aston Villa to buy him. Sancho, I believe Chelsea don't want him, so they'll just be like, yeah, you figure it out. And for Anthony, probably maybe he might be with Real Betis, but listen, that's also subject to him reducing his salary. Will Anthony want to come back to Manchester United and try again? We will see. So yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's loan watch. I just wanted us to talk about the three players. Obviously, there's other players like what's his name, Malaysia, who's with PSV in the vein. But these are the three players that I think I wanted to highlight on players that actually have or had an impact on Manchester United. So yeah. So that's what I had for you guys. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And do comment down, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section, what do you guys think about Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Anthony? Would you want to see them back playing for Manchester United, or is it time for us to say goodbye? I would love to hear all your thoughts. So that's what I had for you guys today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe. And do turn your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen, to know when next I post a video. Bye, guys.